This is the rarest stone in the world, rarer than pyrite or diamonds, and in today's video I'm going to tell you how it was found. Now, imagine for a moment that you and your best friend are walking along the banks of a stream looking for sapphires, until as luck would have it, you come across this crystal, an earthy orange crystalline gem. You examine it carefully and realize that it isn't a sapphire. Feeling a little frustrated that it isn't a sapphire, you throw it away. But your friend, out of curiosity, decided to pick up the same gem from the ground, being more experienced than you. He realizes that it's no ordinary stone, so he keeps it in his pocket. After a whole day of searching, your friend returns to the city and takes the stone to a gem specialist, who analyzes the chemical composition of the crystal and discovers that it is a gem never seen or catalogued before. A crystal rarer than a diamond, with a very specific chemical composition, called Kyaw Thu. Sometime later, watching the news on TV, you discover that your friend has become a multi-millionaire for having found the stone you had thrown away. Regretful and realizing the mistake you made, you are overcome with frustration at having let this unique opportunity pass before your eyes, something you could have avoided if you had watched this video to the end. So pay close attention, because I'm going to tell you what this mysterious crystal is, where it can be found, and what to do if you're lucky enough to find one of these rarities out there. For you to understand better, you should know that just like diamonds, most precious stones are found deformed, frosted or opaque. And for this reason, many ordinary people like you and me fail to find gems like these, thinking that they are ordinary stones, stones that could often change their financial lives forever. Want to see an example? This is a gemstone found in nature. And this is the same stone after it has been cut. It's incredible, isn't it? So let's get started. I'm sure you'll be surprised to learn that the discovery of the world's rarest mineral was a stroke of luck. The ruby hunters who found it didn't realize what a treasure they had got their hands on, so they put it up for sale at any price. That same week, Dr. Kyaw Thu, who regularly visited the town of Mogok, noticed something special about the little orange gem. In his own words he says,
"While studying in the countryside and frequently buying some stones at the Khanae market, I realized that this stone was a bit strange and I bought it. Then, when I arrived in Yangon, I examined it and discovered that it was unlike any other jewel we had ever found."
Certainly, because it wasn't an identified mineral at the time, he paid a relatively cheap price for it. However, today the price of the jewel cannot be defined, since it will not be put up for sale anytime soon. But even so, it's safe to say that the value of this gem could exceed millions of dollars per carat if it were to be sold at auction. By the way, if you want to see this crystal with your own eyes, it is in the collection of the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County. What's more, the name Kyaw Thu was curiously chosen in honor of former Professor Kyaw Thu of the University of Yangon in Myanmar, who was responsible for identifying this beautiful orange mineral. Normally, the Earth is a big planet. If there is a mineral somewhere in the world, it is likely that this same mineral will form and be found elsewhere too, like quartz for example, which is currently the second most abundant mineral on Earth, being found in several countries around the world, such as the United States, Chile, Brazil, Spain, Russia and India. But this is not the case with Kyaw Thu crystal. Among the 6,000 officially recognized minerals, this is the only existing specimen we know of. It weighs 1.61 carats, approximately 0.3 grams. Its chemical formula is bismuth, antimony and tetraoxygen, with some traces of tantalum, which is a transition metal. But what is most curious about this whole story is that there is more bismuth in the Earth's crust than gold, while antimony is more abundant than silver. Oxygen is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust, and tantalum, although rare, can still be found quite easily in the regions where it is mined. In other words, the chemical composition of Kyaw Thu does not justify its rarity, as the elements that make up this crystal are not that rare. In fact, the secret behind its rarity lies in the formation process of this crystal, which is extremely specific and unique. According to Professor George Rossman from Caltech University, the high pressure and heat generated by the collision of India and Asia result in the formation of this mineral. That's why some gemologists believe that the formation of Kyaw Thu is the result of this natural phenomenon. This justifies the fact that the country of Myanmar is the source of the world's second rarest mineral, millet, which is the world's second rarest gemstone. And now that you know the chemical composition of Kyaw Thu, you're ready to understand how it can be identified if you happen to find one lying around. Basically, as bismuth is a highly heavy element, the density of Kyaw Thu can be up to 8 times greater than the density of water. And it can be twice the density of rubies. In other words, even if it looks like an extremely small stone, it's much heavier than it looks. That's why, if you find such a gem, at first you can do a density test to speculate whether you've found a Kyaw-Thuite. However, if you want to be absolutely sure, the most effective way to identify this gem is to analyze its chemical composition. But before we go any further, take the opportunity to subscribe to our channel, because unlike pyrite, which can cost up to $60,000, your subscription to our channel is free. However, mining in the regions where Kyaw-Thuite is found has come under strong international criticism, causing ethical concerns about mining practices in Myanmar, which have become an increasing problem in the region since the Human Rights Watch has raised an alert about the fact that the region's military government is abusing forced labor and child labor to profit from these gems. So if you want to know more about gems and their dangers, I recommend you watch this video about toxic gems that can be lethal to humans.